Hello everyone and welcome back to the Sork Tower, giving you guys a cool deck tech for my Blufasa deck. We're playing 6 copies of Mufasa in this deck. Super fun deck to play. I can't wait to showcase how fast we can get down Mufasa and Blufasa in this deck. So let's check it out. So our first facilitator in this crime is Pluto. Pluto is just going to be our best 1-drop in the deck. And then the next card that lets us play Mufasa really fast is 4 copies of Tipo. This is going to let us get Mufasa down as soon as turn 3. Now, we do have some other ramp pieces in this deck. We have 4 copies of Mickey Mouse, and we have 4 copies of Donald Duck. This is going to be 12 characters that all ramp a card. 8 of them that ramp it off the top of our deck. So that's going to help us go super fast. Donald Duck also has some pretty incredible stats, being a 3/4 that quests for 2. We're also playing a decent number of Floodborns in this deck. We have 4 copies of the Queen shift line. Then we're running 6 copies of the King Candy shift line, and we're running 3 Gaston and 1 shift Gaston. This card quests for 3 and feels amazing when you hit it off the Mufasa. Next up, we have 2 copies of Pongo. Pongo is just going to be one of our consistency pieces, and then for some more consistency pieces, we have 4 copies of Grandma Tala, 4 copies of Rapunzel, and 4 copies of Rockstar Stitch. One thing that always struggles in these other Mufasa variants that don't have like the self-damage draw engine is, well, they're lacking a draw engine, but this version doesn't feel like that. Thanks to the Grandma Tala, the Gaston, and the Stitch, we're able to pretty consistently get advantage back, as well as the Blufasa. Next up, we have some pretty cool removal. We have 4 copies of Cusco. This might seem a little overkill to some players, but it's inkable, it's a 6-drop, it's a 3/5, it quests for 2, and in this deck, we're ramping quite a bit. So we're able to just use that ink sink that it has to be able to just give all of our characters resist and start trading with Donald Ducks, and even our Tipos and our Mickey Mouses can become a little threatening when they have resist 2 or 3. And then, of course, we have the MVP removal piece in this deck, 2 copies of Hades. Hades just lets us push back pretty much everything in the meta that's a problem, and anything that Hades can't deal with, Cusco can. So that's it for the removal. And into the Mufasas, we have 4 copies of Mufasa and 2 copies of Blufasa. So that's it for the deck tech. Let's go ahead and check out what the full lists look like. There's the full list for you guys. Make sure you take a screenshot, and while you're there pausing it, you might as well hit that like and subscribe button. Now let's get into a turn 3 Mufasa play and then a turn 4 Blufasa play. So the turn 3 Mufasa play is pretty simple. Ink a card, play the Pluto, draw for turn. Sneaky Daisy Duck got into my deck somehow. Draw for turn. Go ahead, ink a card, play a Tipo, ink the Pluto. And finally, for our turn 3, ink a card, go to 4 ink, use the Pluto to ramp 1, and play the Mufasa. Now let's get into this Blufasa combo. So, step 1, ink a card, play the Pluto. Step 2, go to turn 2, draw for turn, ink the Queen, play Gaston. Turn 3, draw for turn, ink a card, use the Gaston to play the Tipo, inking a card, then use the Mickey to put the top card of our deck into our inkwell. Turn 4, we'll draw for turn, we'll ink the King Candy, then we'll use all 6 of our ink plus our Gaston to play the Mufasa, allowing us to get any 2 cards from our inkwell back to our hand, and being able to play our Mufasa. And this also is a lot stronger than you might think because we don't have to exert the Pluto to do this combo, which means that we can just kind of keep it readied for the rest of the game, or if our opponent deals with it, we can still do it as long as we get to the Gaston on turn 2. So that's pretty important. So that's it for the combo. Make sure you guys put down in the comments what you want to see next. And if you guys like this, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe. This is Broom Dude hopping out of the Sork Tower.